Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of my latest Amazon purchase. This is the BZK 20 megapixel trail camera. And if you've watched some of my videos before, you know I like trying out different trail cameras. And especially these ones that are sold on Amazon, they mostly all come out of China. There's a few exceptions to that, but they're relatively cheap in price compared to some of your name brand cameras like Browning or Bushnell or Moultrie. Those companies make great cameras, but like this camera, for example, was $59 on Amazon. So if I can get a camera for $59 that works pretty well, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Anyway, I do these videos. I don't get anything for doing this. I buy these cameras with my own money, but I like doing these videos in case there's somebody else out there who's thinking about buying the same camera and maybe just wants to get an idea of what does it look like when you get it, and then some sample images and videos to see what the quality is like. So let's see what we get here. Some screws for mounting your mounting bracket. This mounting bracket, let's see if there's something else. Yeah. This mounting bracket is pretty standard. You're going to get these with most of these cameras that come out of China. You basically run this set of screws here through the back of this plate, and then you can mount your camera with the threaded mount here. I'll show you that here in a second. Also comes with your traditional tree mount. You can run this strap through the back of the camera and around a tree or a pole. Those always work pretty well. A USB cable. So this USB cable is for you to plug in your camera to your computer and retrieve your images or view your images. I've never in my life used one of these. I always just put a memory card in the camera and just pull the memory card out, put it in my computer and view my pictures that way. So user manual and an Amazon after sales card. So let's take a look at the camera itself. So when I do these videos, I try not to say whether or not it's a good camera or whether it's a bad camera. It's kind of hard to tell at this point because I'm just putting it out. I've never used it. But if you want to leave a comment after it's been out in the field for a while, after I've had some time to use it, I'm happy to respond and let you know my thoughts after it's been out there for a while. Some of these cameras work really great, and then a couple months later, they don't work anymore. I will say this: the ones that are cheaper like this off of Amazon, I've had really good luck with. I've got some of them that I've been using for 3 to 4 years, and I've had no problems. So a couple things I do like in a trail camera that I look for. Everybody's kind of different on this. I like a camera that'll take a solar panel because that's my preference. I usually plug these cameras into a solar panel. I also like a camera that takes a full-size SD card versus the micro SD card. A lot of the newer cameras are using micro SD cards. For me, it's just easier to handle the full-size SD card. So those are two good things I like about this. I also like cameras that have the viewing screen so that when you put the camera out, you know exactly what you're aimed at, and you can also take some sample shots and then check them out right there on the camera. So I think that's a nice feature. So anyway, that's a quick look at the camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some batteries in it, and I'll turn it on and we'll go through the settings and see how the setup is. Okay, so I've got some batteries, and I went ahead and put a memory card in the camera. The one thing I like to do with these cameras is, one thing I'll mention, the magazine for the batteries, for me, was really hard to get out. You press this button here, and it's a release button, but the magazine doesn't fall out. It basically just comes down a little bit, and if you're somebody like me who doesn't have fingernails, I really had to work to get it to pull out. But anyway, it comes out, just it's not going to fall out if that's what you're thinking. The camera says it runs on 8 AA batteries, but a lot of these cameras out of China, instead of 8, if you put in 4, you're going to see it works just fine. Now they advertise an 8-month battery life. That's if you're using 8 batteries. If you are only running on 4 batteries, you're probably going to get about half that, so about 4 months. For me, again, I use a solar panel, but it's kind of nice to know that's available in case you don't want to put 8 batteries in your camera at a time. There's 3 buttons on the side here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. There's a switch here for on, setup, and off. All I've done at this point is moved it up to setup. Once you're on setup, it's basically on the screen, and if you press the mode button, it basically takes you into still shot mode. So if I wanted to take a still shot at this point, I can click the OK button over here and take a still shot. If you press mode a second time, it takes you into your viewing screen if you've got some images on there. And if you press it a third time, it takes you into your settings. So once you're in your settings, it's pretty standard, pretty similar to any other camera. I'm not going to go through all the settings. I don't want to bore you. It's a nice color screen. All you're going to do is use the up and down buttons over here on the side to go to whatever setting you want to adjust. So for example, I'm on mode. Once I'm on there, if I press OK, you can go and adjust, you know, the given settings. So for mode, you can do photo, video, or photo and video. This is all pretty standard. If you've got questions about any of these things, just leave a comment in the video and I can help you out with that. I'm going to do photo and video just so I can get you some test images of both of them in case you're interested in doing still shots or video. You'll have both. Photo resolution. Again, this is a 20 megapixel camera. So I'm going to put it on 20 megapixel. Photo series would be, you know, do you want to take one shot when it gets triggered, 2, 3? We'll just leave it on 1. Video resolution. I'll put it on the highest resolution, which is 3840 times 2160p. I think that might be the highest video resolution I've ever seen on one of these cameras. Usually 1080p is the highest you're going to get, so that's pretty impressive. Video length, how long do you want the video to be? Just to show you, I'm not sure if you're able to see that or not, but you can do per second. It's not like you can just do 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15. So you can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do 21 seconds. Audio recording, do we want it to record sound when it records video? Yes. Shot lag would be how long in between being triggered. Do we want it to wait before it triggers itself again? 1 minute seems okay. So this is pretty cool. You've got side monitor sensors and you can cut those on or off. That's going to be these sensors over here. So if you don't want those on, you can cut those off here. We'll leave those on. You can adjust your sensitivity, just leave it in middle. Target recording time. That would be if you only want this camera to be functional, excuse me, during certain times of the day. So if you only want it to work at nighttime, you can do that with target recording time. You can cut off the daytime or vice versa. Maybe you're only interested in daytime images. You don't want all the nighttime images. You can adjust that here. Time lapse would be if you're capturing something at a certain time every day. You don't care if there's motion or not. You just want it to take pictures, maybe a flower blooming or something like that, construction site. That's what you could use the time lapse for. You can adjust your language settings, the time and date. You can also do your time format and your date format. All pretty standard stuff. When you're in a setting, if you need to get back out, you just use the mode button to get back out. You can choose whether to have a photo stamp, the stamp on or off, or do you want the time and date, just the date, or do you want it off? So we'll do time and date just to show you what the photo stamp looks like. You can password protect it. You can cut off this annoying beep sound. Much better. You can format your SD card. And a lot of times that's a good idea, especially if you're using an SD card that came out of another camera. I always recommend put your SD card in. First thing you should do is format the SD card so that it's basically back to factory default and it's ready to be used in this camera with no other camera settings. Serial number, TV mode, frequency. Do you want it to be for 50 hertz or 60 hertz? And then you can reset your settings to factory default. So that's a quick look at the settings. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to set it, we're going to put it out, and I'll get you some test images you can look at to see what the quality is like. Thanks for watching.